Hey, everyone.
What's up?
Welcome to the Eye Opener Society. That's our podcast, but you're joining us here for the pilot episode, the very first one we're doing called Behind the Eyes. That's going to be our YouTube show. And all it really is to get to know Hannah and I, get to know our podcast, get to know a little bit about the episodes, things that's going on, what we have planned, maybe. It's going to be kind of all over the place show, much like our podcast is. But this one is for those that want something visible, because I know a lot of people enjoy visible stuff, and that's why we're doing YouTube. Now, first off, why don't we just start from the beginning, right?
All right.
You're Hannah, right?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Hannah here is my stepdaughter. She's one of three beautiful daughters from my wife's side there. And Hannah appeared on my show one day.
Just one day.
Yeah, just one. But I give a little bit of a backstory on that because it's more than just showing up on our podcast. This podcast started about a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
But it was
Longer
known.
than that.
It might have been. It might have been 2 years now, 2 summers ago. Time marches by so fast. But we started, or at least I started, as a third eye meditation. And when I started Third Eye Meditation podcast, what it was just simply a podcast I was doing in conjunction with my business. I still have Third Eye Meditation. It still exists as a business entity, but I was doing meditation coaching, which I still do, very small scales now. But when I started that business, I started the podcast just as a way to cheaply advertise, really,
Yeah.
And within the first couple of months, the podcast took off like amazingly. And I was heard like 23 countries and all. I said, wow, this is amazing. It's so good to do that. So I was doing the podcast and it was based on meditation. That's what it was. It was always meditation this, meditation that, no, which is great because I could sit and talk about meditation forever, really. And we still do on our show. But when Third Eye Meditation was kind of thriving, we had a presence on Facebook as well. And I started doing live shows every Wednesday night, did the wind down show. I'd sit and talk. Every now and then I'd invite some people, some friends and all come in. And I invited Hannah to come into one of the shows and she just knocked it out of the park. I just felt so good doing that episode with you. I just said, Hannah, that's it. Do you want to do a podcast with me all the time?
Fuck it.
Yeah, she was. She's like, fuck it. And we did it. She turned around and was on pretty much every show after that. And then I was talking to her. I said, yeah, we'll do the meditation stuff, but there were so many roads I wanted to go down.
Yeah.
Because I love conspiracy theories. I love UFOs. All the crazy stuff I enjoy. And I always wanted to talk about that. And it didn't always fly so well because my audience was just based on one thing. And I appreciate them. Especially if they're still listening. But I just wanted to go down and explore some other roads. So with Hannah being on the show, I say we just got to rebrand, and just change.
Like right when we moved too, that we kind of rebranded. Maybe a little bit before that.
Yeah, it was a little bit before, because you were still doing the shows on the Third Eye Meditation. We didn't really rebrand fully until we moved in because I just came up to you one day. I was like, listen, here's a new logo. I said,
he sent me the pics and I was like, I like this one the best.
Right.
Here it is.
Yeah, we just said, you know what, we're going to rebrand. And I decided to do that because one, it'll give us an opportunity to talk about more than just meditation. We could really take it higher. I could go over all the conspiracy stuff and all the weird stuff and all. And it gave Hannah that chance to be part of something rather than something that was just mine. So that's basically how the Eye Opener Society started.
Yeah.
And we rebranded. We've done a whole episode. And as a matter of fact, because I got it pulled up now. If you're going through our podcasts, I got them kind of numbered in sequence. If it starts at 100, from 100, 200, 300, 400, 5, up to 1,000, those episodes are older episodes, ones I decided to keep.
Mm-hmm.
And those are from Third Eye Meditation. And that's why I wanted to do the show, because I wanted to give some background so not everybody's too confused. Those are older episodes. And don't forget, I'm mentioning websites that no longer exist. I'm,
True.
plugging myself. This is why I didn't want to keep every episode up, but I wanted to keep some of the key ones, especially the ones where we had guests come in. So yeah, 100 to 1000 are from Third Eye Meditation. So if you're listening to those and you're hearing Third Eye Meditation, that's us prior to the rebrand. And then from episode 1 up until the most recent, which I think is going to be 20 by now, that's under the Eye Opener Society. And that's what, Hannah and I just kind of joined forces under this new name. And we're starting to do more talks about other things outside of meditation and all. So I wanted to give that background first.
Yeah.
Just because, like I said, the podcast is really important.
Yeah.
And I got it. I wanted to do this because it's difficult. Like when we're sitting and we're doing a podcast, we do the podcast completely unscripted.
We do.
Nothing's
ever scripted. Like sometimes things probably come out of my mouth and Gary's like, what the fuck did this bitch just say on our podcast? Like right now.
Right. But that's our show. We're unscripted. I don't like to censor ever.
Never.
Listen, I'm from the Bronx, New York. I talk like that too. Hannah's got, a mouth on her too occasion. We don't do the show just to do that, but we let it fly because one, it's our show. Two, it's real. We're real people.
Yeah.
Everyday people. We go to work, we deal with the same exact struggles in life that everybody else does. And we always say we come up with ideas to basically get through our lives. And so if you're listening, maybe you could relate to some of this stuff. And, and the bottom line, our show is always about being that higher self, looking at
being
things.
yourself.
Yeah. And being yourself too. Exactly. So that's how we became Eye Opener Society. And the podcast, listen, I'm going to be real dead honest. We're doing this for pilot show. It'll probably get better as time goes on. I just wanted to get it out there. But you got to understand one other thing. Like I said, Hannah and I were real people. We operate on a budget of $0. I don't do advertising on the podcast. Maybe down the line, maybe we'll get famous, but for right now, we don't. And if I got advertisers on here, they're not going to like some things and I'm going to have to change. I don't want that. Listen, I want Hannah and I to be able to speak freely. So enjoy what you see. It's being done with a budget of $0. Whenever I got extra money, I buy some new equipment maybe and try and get it done. I don't like editing my shows either. Again, if
we don't,
mistakes happen, then mistakes happen, and we just got to roll with it. It's simple as that.
I was literally just telling him we should do like a blooper release.
Right, we should, because normally we make the biggest errors like within the first 30 seconds of the show, and then we just got to re-record it. But we did one and it was outdoors and a camera fell into our fire pit.
It was dope.
It was, and I'm telling you, it was so cool. But yeah, we had this YouTube channel up though for a little while, and we were recording some of our episodes. And again, because of no budget, I mean, they looked so bad. Sometimes they were so dark you couldn't even see us and all.
Yeah.
But we just threw them up anyway because I knew people liked a little bit of a visual. But I took all those videos down because I wanted to clean everything up. And if you come here, you're going to see some shows will be recorded. When we have guests come on, we do like to record those shows, on video as well. That's for the guests' purpose, so they get a little bit more exposure, not just on our platform, but also on YouTube. And then our show, Behind the Eyes, is going to be on this YouTube channel. Our website is eyeopenersociety.onpodium.co. I will put links below. Don't forget to follow us. I hate doing it. It's like a cult when it comes to social media.
Like our posts.
Yeah, but follow us.
Sign up for notifications.
Yeah, sign up for notifications. Do all that. I hate doing that because I got to tell people to do that on our Facebook page too. And then on our separate platform where our podcasts are hosted, you can follow there. Listen, if you see us, just follow us. It helps us. It helps the algorithms and whatnot. But if you do enjoy this show, definitely follow us here. But if you go on to eyeopenersociety.onpodium.co, that page is constantly updated. Whenever we do a podcast, whenever we do a YouTube video, it'll show up right there. And if you sign up for email notifications, you'll be notified right away by email saying, hey, these guys got another show up. And then you could jump on and check it out. That's the best way to follow us. Honestly, just go on our website. It's free, doesn't cost you a dime. So eyeopenersociety.onpodium.co, and I'll have a link down below. So we do this without any money.
Correct.
um, we're regular people. We struggle every day. We work. We try and do the right thing. We get frustrated. We get happy. We go through different changes. Um, Hannah's my stepdaughter, and like I said at the beginning, we all live under the same roof. Not what is it, 6 months ago now we've been living here.
Yeah, I think like end of April, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
April. So we've been living under the same roof and it's been a great time. And that's the other thing I like. Like I do this podcast really at now instead of doing it as a cheap way of advertising, I do it as a hobby,
Hmm.
something I really enjoy doing. And I'm not saying it just because she's here, but I enjoy doing the show with Hannah. It's a great way for you and I to sit and bond. And I really enjoy you know, your presence. I really do. I enjoy it. And the whole idea, this concept with Behind the Eye, it's to basically let you guys see how we interact like when we're not doing a
Yeah.
podcast. Hannah and I, we spent how many nights during the summer and spring, especially when we're
Yeah, we
outdoors
were.
underneath the, stars and all, and we're just sitting out there and we're having these deep conversations and all. And this is how we come up with a lot of
Yeah, and like
ideas.
yeah, and half the time we were like, we should have a mic out here right now.
And we've done that a couple times. We had outdoor shows and we did Don't Let the Corporations Bully You. I think that was outside. We did the poolside
Yeah.
podcast,
Fireside podcast.
fireside one. So yeah, we did. We had some shows already that we did outside, and we plan on bringing more. But otherwise, we're normally here inside of our studio. The great thing when we got this house, I had the studio
Yeah.
already here. I
It
just
was a
threw up my decorations
yeah,
and
it was a long search. It was a
mhm,
really long search. It was a stressful search. We probably looked at over like 30 houses.
mhm,
And then we like this kind of fell and I was like, all right, yeah, this is the one. And I think
mhm.
this room kind of settled it for me too
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely caught my eyes. Like, it's got a studio. It actually has
Yeah.
a studio, and we don't got to do anything. We don't got to set up an area. It
Yeah.
already had the studio built in, so it was just a matter of getting the equipment and decorating it to the way we liked it. And we're here now, and I've been really happy about that. But the show, Eye Opener Society, has been changing from when we did third eye meditation, and we go through the growing pains. We keep
Yeah.
branching out in different ways. Not too long ago, a few episodes ago actually, Hannah comes to me and says we got to do an episode on serial killers.
Yes.
And we did, and I never even thought about that. I mean, I prefer conspiracies and all, true crime and all. It's just never, it's so oversaturated. But
Love it.
yeah, but I seen exactly her vision. Hannah is also 100% of this. So, her ideas go. And I said, all right, cool, we'll do it. And I'm so happy we did. It was a great
It
show.
was such a great show. It was honestly probably like to date, like one of my top favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like a really big like crime show junkie, currently watching Cold Case.
Yeah.
Catch me, that's where my spare time is.
Yeah, so it was good. It was good to share that, one of your joys, rather than listen to me talk about my conspiracies all the time. So it was nice to sit here and actually do something different.
Yeah.
And I think the audience really appreciated a lot of it. So it was a really good episode.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I've been talking so much about meditation. And again, I will talk about it to anybody that wants to listen. But it's just after a while, you say so much that you
Find yourself repeating yourself
yeah.
and you kind of find yourself kind of like getting burnt out
Mm-hmm.
in a way.
Yeah, and I don't want to. I know we had an audience that we might have even lost when we moved over, and I feel bad for that. I enjoyed the people that listened, but I couldn't keep doing the same
Yeah.
thing over and over again. I
It was
really
definitely
couldn't.
getting like to the point where it was kind of just like exhausting talking about the like same things, but like also just kind of like you said, like repeating yourself and just
Hmm.
going on and on and on. Not that like meditation is exhausting and like helping people was exhausting. It wasn't that. It was just kind of the whole just concept of repeating yourself over and
Yeah.
over and like kind of trying to reword things differently for people who just didn't quite understand.
Hmm.
And then there's just like the duplicate questions that we were getting. It was just kind of like we were filling a strainer and not filling
Hmm.
a bowl.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good way to put it. Yeah. It just, you said burnt out, and that's just it.
Yeah.
I did it when it came to meditation, when it came to talking about that. Um, I always say you just got to do it, but everybody wants instantaneous results.
Yeah.
Open my third eye. Like,
We can't
dude,
do that.
we can't do that. It doesn't
What
happen
food
that
do I
way.
eat?
Yeah,
Whatever the fuck you want.
right. It
I
became,
literally think I said that to someone one time.
yeah,
I was
yes,
just
you
like,
did.
I was like, you can eat whatever the fuck you want. Like,
Yeah, it did. It became frustrating after a while. So I
yeah.
stepped back from that. And now that's why I still do sessions with people that are
Yeah.
interested. You could always reach out. Um, and I do a meditation coaching. It's not teaching because you can learn how to meditate from
Anything.
anybody.
Yeah.
People need a coach. People need to actually get involved in it, learn the different ways, find out about yourself. And
Yeah.
that's what it's
Because
about.
meditation can be anything that you want it to be. And I
Hmm.
think that's what I stress so much to people.
Hmm.
And I think also like with our show, even though we do branch off to like different, ideas and like topics, I feel like that we always stay true to, that there's a bigger picture and bigger
Higher self.
higher self
Yep.
or like higher meaning to any topic that we were talking about.
That is, and I always like coming back and relating everything to
Yeah.
that higher self or from a different perspective. It's just the goal, the theme of the show. It still remains, but like I said, I just wanted to bring different and exciting
Yeah.
topics. And now I talk a lot about conspiracies all the time, and I'm just an ordinary person. I know one of the bigger questions is, do you believe all these conspiracies? I don't. I don't believe
Yeah.
all of them. Hannah don't believe all of them. We all have our different views. I just believe any conspiracy has some ounce of truth to it somewhere.
Yeah.
And you could keep going down different
Like the
rabbit
conspiracy
holes.
had to come from something.
That's exactly
That's
right.
how you keep an
Mhm,
open mind to
mhm,
things.
yeah. And I never did a show where it says you have to believe
Yeah,
this.
no.
But I just, like I said, we like to present the story to people. This
Mhm.
is what's going on.
Yeah.
There are things I do believe fully, and I'm very strong about them. But then a lot of them, I'm like, it could be true. It
Yeah.
might not be true. Or sometimes I'm looking at now, there's a few conspiracies I'm looking at where I'm like, I can't get on board with them.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel. So yeah, we're just regular people. Although we take the show serious, the podcast serious when we're talking about the subject matter. Outside of that, again, we're just regular people.
Mhm.
We might tell you whether or not we believe the conspiracy. Sometimes we will not. It all depends,
Yeah.
because we just did the one flat Earth theory just
Yeah, we
recently
did.
too, and that one again, it was a divide,
Mhm.
between what you believe, your husband believes, what I believe. There was a big divide between.
Yeah.
There's actually three different answers, so it's not flat Earth, round Earth. There was my
Hollow
throwing
Earth.
it hollow Earth theories. That's what I believe. So given that, that's the podcast. That's what you're going to hear in the future. If you're catching up on episodes or you're just hearing us for the first time, that's the podcast. But this show is just going to take you behind the scenes. We'll talk a little bit about those episodes, but
Mhm.
getting to know us. There's a personality. Well, that was the other thing too with this podcast. It's never about, because I always say it's always an open conversation.
Mhm.
It's never about the people speaking about it because
Yeah.
people like to attack the person that's speaking instead of questioning the conversation, It's like,
Correct, yeah.
that's what I say. We're just regular people. I usually like on this, I got to approve comments because I don't mind constructive criticism, but at the same time, like I said, we do this as a hobby. Most of the comments are going to be, oh, you need brighter lights, you need better sound. I know we do. Give us money.
Mhm.
There's a donation. Go on. If you go on our website, there's a donation page. Donate and I'll
It
buy all the
reminds me of that
equipment.
show that we did. Oh god, what was that show? I can't remember. We got so much backlash.
Was it the
Um,
chemtrail one? Yeah,
yes.
chemtrails, of
I
course.
think it was.
Hmm.
And didn't that
Yeah.
guy was like,
Yeah. Somebody wanted to argue, contrails with me. And now that's good that you brought that up. That was one of our past
no,
episodes.
no, that one, the 9/11 show.
There was a
That
9/11 show.
oh,
Yeah, those are two shows. Like,
two shows that we got kind of some heat for, and I was just like,
yeah.
on, settle down. It's just a
Right.
conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the chemtrails was the first one.
Yeah.
We didn't get too much backlash because I was really mad on that show. That was one show I was extremely
That was
mad.
his hype show.
Yeah. But I did it because there was a personal reason why I'm mad on there because I if I believe in any conspiracy, I do believe in the chemtrails. That I mean, they've admitted it hundreds of times, and a lot of people just don't want to open up their eyes to this that it actually is happening. And with my wife, your mom's got so many medical conditions, a lot of medical
Mhm.
conditions, and nobody really knows the background. And when I looked into it, well, some of these chemicals that they spray create these same symptoms. And so my thing was, I didn't say it was, but let's say if it really is, who do I go after?
Yeah.
That was so that's why that was the one episode I was really mad. And I did get a little bit of backlash on the YouTube side where somebody's bitching and another pilot, oh, they're just contrails. Yeah, contrails are different from
Yeah.
chemtrails. I know what a contrail is. I
Yeah.
know it's basic science, but there's a difference between that and a chemtrail. So and then, yeah, the 9/11 and the 9/11 show was another one of mine. You basically sat back and listened
Yeah.
because I did that show. That was the very first show where I mentioned things I've never mentioned to the
Yeah. You were like
family and
open
nobody.
book like how I
Yeah.
usually am.
Yeah, and Hannah's always the big open book one. So this was my open book show because I used to work for New York City's emergency medical services, and a lot of that meant something. I wasn't there, but there was a lot of survivor guilt, and there was a lot of just emotional stuff with the whole conspiracy behind it.
Yeah.
And yeah, people wanted to argue that. I'm not in the mood to like argue anything. You can
Yeah. Our
discuss it.
show is never and will never be about argument. It's just about normal people having conversation.
That's it.
And we've always been the people to say, like, if you don't like it, then keep scrolling. It kind of sounds
Don't
so
listen.
cliche,
Yeah.
don't listen that, we're just
Yeah.
regular people doing what we enjoy to do.
Right. And I never force anybody to like something. And I will never, just because somebody thinks differently than I do or has a different opinion, I'm never going to shut them out.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't want the argumentative stuff on this show ever.
Mhm.
I don't like to argue with anybody. I just rather have a nice like most of the time when we have guests come on, well, the show's going to be about them and
Yeah.
they could talk about whatever they want. I don't even mention Eye Opener Society except the beginning and the end. But when they're on, I give the show to them.
Yep.
That's how it is. And
Our show's like all about like, yeah, we can talk about some like dark things like the
Mhm.
serial killer
Mm.
was so dark. I'm about to sneeze.
Uh-oh. Not edited. Not edited.
I know. But like that one, it was kind of like dark. But we always try to shed like a bright, positive energy and light
Mhm. Yeah,
every show we do.
that's correct. We do. And
We're not about that negative life.
yeah, no, we're not because there's enough negativity that
Mhm.
goes on that we talk about on the shows and how to get through it. So yeah, we don't want to be argumentative. We don't want to be negative, and because again, we're just regular people. And my stepdaughter here, my buddy, my partner here, you suffer from crippling anxiety
And depression
and
and
depression.
OCD,
Yeah, and this is real.
PTSD.
Yeah,
I can go on.
yep, and that's no lie. I'm not even joking about it, and it's unique to our show because there's a lot of time you've had emotional breakdowns on our show.
Yes. Not
We
like really bad ones, but like a
right.
couple few where it's like it takes every amount of energy in my body to like somewhat keep it together.
Yeah. But that's unique. And this is why I don't edit anything. I
Yeah.
don't use it to exploit you. I like reaching out and letting people know, listen, sometimes this is a normal way of life for
Yeah.
people. And if you watch Hannah, you could be inspired by it because she pulls through. We did that episode. Remember the deep meditation episode? I had this yes, I had this this
I'm
was
gonna cry just thinking about it.
yeah. I had this idea, and like I say, it's unscripted, and most of the time, Hannah walks in here, and I'm like, "Okay, Hannah, we're gonna talk about this." She has no idea what we're gonna do, unless she came up with the idea. And I was like, "Hannah, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go into a very deep meditative state, you know, and I'm gonna
You're gonna ask
connect."
me questions.
Yeah, and I was like, "And you're gonna ask me
It's
questions."
like,
But now, since I have to get into it, I said, "I need you to lead off the show, and I need
no.
you." She froze up. I mean, dude, like
I wanted
she
to throw
froze
up and
up.
gag at the same time.
Yeah. I hit record and I felt, because that was the thing. I actually was in a very deep meditation, so I felt everything around me, like all the electric and his energy. I felt so bad.
But he stayed and he
I
just
stayed.
let me
I was like, okay,
suffer.
yeah. But I said, you know what? I know she's got this, but she was having this panic attack.
I was like shaking. You could feel me.
Yeah, it was really it was sad, but at the same time, it showed
It's
just what a
sad.
trooper she was, and she got through this.
I
And
did.
this is why I say you have to, if you suffer from these things, because a lot of people suffer from this, but you could get through. It's a matter of, I don't know how you did it, but you did it.
I did it.
Yeah, and I was really, really impressed, and it turned out to be a great show, and surprisingly, we were recording that show, remember? And for whatever reason, we
Yeah.
accidentally deleted the video
We
portion of
lost
it.
video portion.
So, which I think was good, because I don't even think I would have put that up, because it's one thing to just listen and hear the panic in Hannah's voice, which probably wasn't too obvious. But if you were to see it visually, I wouldn't put it through that. I want to, she's a beautiful girl, and I don't want to see the ugly side, but yeah, she suffers from severe crippling anxiety, along with the PTSD, depression, everything else. And I tell you, I get my moments. I try to always look on the bright side. I think we spoke about this in one podcast somewhere. I said, you and your mom, you both kind of suffer from the same things. And I'm the one who's always trying to keep it together. I said, but who helps the person helping? Like
Yeah.
when I have a break, who am I going to?
Yeah.
I know I could talk to either one of you, but that's just going to put more of a burden on you
Mhm.
guys. So I wanted this show to be real. This is Behind the Eye, and you're getting to know us. You suffer from depression as well,
Yeah.
and you've had some bad times in your life as
Mhm.
well, right? So this is why we do this show to help other people
Yeah.
get through this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Um, Hannah doesn't mind talking about this stuff half the time. She's very open about it, and when she's ready, she'll just spew it out.
Oh, I felt this coming. Go ahead.
Yeah, but no, I'm never gonna make you talk about
No,
anything.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
But I mean, you had an attempt at your own life.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was around for that too. So you were how old when I met your mom?
Um,
And I'm putting myself on the spot because I can't
I
not remember the
think
year.
I think I was in middle school or maybe elementary.
You might have just been in middle school.
Yeah, like when I was in like 6th or 7th grade. And so
Mhm.
that was like a while ago
Yeah, yeah.
because I'm 26 years old.
Yeah, I know she
So,
looks like she's 16, but
um, I think probably when I was like, were you around for my 13th birthday? I think you were.
might have been.
So
I
maybe
don't
like when I was
know.
like
Yesterday.
maybe 11 or 12. Let's just say go with that. So
Yeah.
a long ass time.
Yeah. So I seen Hannah grow up more than her little two, because she's the youngest of the three. So I've watched you growing up, and I said it many times on the show, is you remind me of me. You were never a bad kid. I mean, you did some shit, but we all did. But you were the
This
rebel.
motherfucker put a tracker on my phone.
I did. I did put a tracker. I got her phone one day because her mother was always worried about it, because she just disappears, never comes home for days. So I managed to get her phone. I forgot how I did it.
It was not days.
Yeah, and no, there was a couple times you were gone for days. Don't lie. Yeah, but yeah, well, I got her phone somehow, and I put a tracker on, so we always knew where she was, just to make sure she was safe. But yeah, she was a little rebel. But listen, I when I came into your life, I always told you and your sisters, I was like, I'm never gonna be a dad
Yeah.
ever, even if there's
This
a
is
fire.
fire. Yeah.
Oh,
No.
no, I was just gonna be somebody that's there, and I'd rather you just see me as a friend or something.
Yeah.
And you did. I mean, right now when I look at it, and we're on the same, you've become like a fucking great friend and
We're best friends.
best friends, and like I literally can talk to Hannah about anything. I mean, Jesus, some of the shit we talk about. I mean, you would just think that we're just two guys in a college dorm
We're kind of
sometimes.
raunchy.
Yeah, we really are. It's pretty sick, and
You
I
should hear our
love
sound checks.
it. Yeah, but listen, that's the way it is. That's the friendship we have.
Yeah.
We can do that. But that's what makes our show, I think, just authentic. It's two people behind these talks, whatever these talks are at the moment. There's two people behind it,
Hmm.
and like I said, we're doing the show. We got, we're sticking to the concept of that. episode, but behind the scenes, this is who we are. This is
Mhm.
how we operate. We got a great sense of humor. I got a very dark sense of humor. Hannah's got a raunchy sense of humor, much like me. But we get along. We get along
Yeah.
really good, and that's what, again, coming full circle, it brings back conversation. And she's got a different personality than I do. I got a way different personality, but we get along.
Mhm.
And
We do.
yeah, I would never continue this podcast without her. That's just how I feel. Is she's a part of this show.
I
She's
think
a
he
part
did
of
one
it.
show without me one time. Something came up. It was
I actually, and it wasn't like a pocket. I did a wisdom thing,
yeah,
and
it wasn't your best.
it probably wasn't. Um, but it was weird because I did it, and it was almost like I was cheating on her. I came up to her. I was like,
I
I
don't
know,
feel right. I don't
yeah.
think I did my best.
No, I literally came to you. I said, Hannah, I feel bad because I think it feels like I cheated on you. I said, I had to do a show without you,
Yeah.
and not that you give a shit, but it's just like, I just felt so bad because
Yeah, and he's like, and you could tell like with the show, you were like, I don't feel like I did my best, like you were a piece was missing, like the yin and the yang.
yeah, and we do discuss that, the yin
Yeah.
and the yang. I forgot about that. We go the male, female, the younger, the older, two different generations. So it is, we get that yin and the yang, and we incorporate that right into the show. And aside from that, our slogan, open your eyes and then open your eye, that came from back when I did third eye meditation. Because the third eye, to open that up, that focused meditation where it's on that third eye, where you're able to see into that next dimension and all. I said, but in order to get there, you got to open up your eyes to the
Hmm.
world around you, everything that's going on. And unless you're seeing things from different perspectives and removing your ego and seeing it, you'll never get that third eye open. And that rolled over to this platform simply because, listen, conspiracy theories and these deeper talks about things that most people don't find thrilling, or some people find it thrilling and they wind up getting into arguments. You have to open your eyes. I always say, open up your
Hmm.
eyes before anything. See what is going on in the world around you before you make any clear decisions, because you really got to see every question everything.
Yeah.
So, just in case anybody was wondering where that came from, open your eyes and then open your eye. But that's our slogan. Oh man, what else can we talk? This is like when Hannah and I, we just sit and we have conversations, just shoot the shit, man.
We
I
do.
love it, man. I I sometimes feel like I want, or I expect too much from you. It's like, I wish we could just sit here and do this all day long.
Yeah.
One day maybe we could. We could make profits off of this. Maybe we'll make some money off of it.
That'd
We
be
could
so
sit and
great.
we could quit our jobs, and you and I could just sit here and chat away, man.
And bullshit.
And bullshit, yeah, but I get a good feeling when I sit here and I talk to her.
Yeah.
It's exciting, and that's why I decide, hey, let's just put a podcast out where it's just her and I, and we get to do these talks, and we have a
Yeah.
good time doing it, and hopefully people enjoy the show. And then on top of that, so more recent, like now, it's been like almost 2 years, I would say, since we've been podcasting. Um, I say sound improved a bit, but like I said, we still don't have money, so you're still
Yeah.
gonna get.
What you get.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna get what you get. I mean, I don't have the money to give you guys the best show, but that's why I hope our personalities help out with that a little bit. But we've also been expanding. We started talking to other people. We've had some great guests on our shows. Um, the beginning of the year, we had Angelica Matav. Remember her?
Yes,
Oh
that was wonderful.
wow,
That was a great show.
it blew my mind. She was so fantastic when it came to birth charts, and it goes so far beyond astrology. And
It
I
did.
we just turned the show over to her.
Yeah, we did.
She
We
just
just
went,
sat there. We had like no questions. We were just like mesmerized by her
yeah,
knowledge. That was a
yeah.
fascinating show.
And her episode is up there, Angelica Matav. It's in one of the triple digit series there. But she was just great. She was a great, and we had Elaine from Arcane Oracle,
Yeah,
but she was never on our podcast. She was on one of our
no,
Facebook
she
Lives.
was.
And she came and she agreed to do a show. Now, Arcane Oracle, she's another one with the tarot. She's a tarot reader, and she's amazing.
She is.
Such a wonderful person, on top of being
I love
probably
her.
on top of being like one of the best tarot readers I know. She's just a wonderful person. she agreed to be on our show. And in this coming January for the new year,
We're
we're
gonna
gonna
have her
do
on.
have a new,
Mhm.
yeah, New Year's episode with her on, and we're going to ask her questions that she's going to interpret through the tarot, and we're taking it to the next level.
Yes, we are.
So, and she's going to be able to do it. She agreed to it, and we're so happy and thrilled that
Stay
we're
tuned
going
for
to have her.
that.
Yeah, stay tuned for that. Everybody's going to love Elaine. I'll put her link in the synopsis too, so you can check out her website, check out her Facebook page. She
Mhm.
offers tarot readings, and believe me, out of everybody I've seen, as far as her talents and skills, she's underpriced.
Yeah,
She really
she is.
is.
She's a fair price because I think, like, with her, I think that, like, she just has this gift and, like, although she does, like, charge for them though, like, she does it at a fair price because she wants to share her gift with others, and I
Yeah.
just think she is such a humble, amazing human being.
Yeah, that she is. So look out for her. I'll get her links up on this as well, so you guys could check her
Yeah.
out. Um,
We had, Ace too. Ace the
Mace the
Amazing.
Amazing, yeah,
Yeah,
Alex. And
Alex.
Alex been banned from Facebook.
Oh, poor Alex.
Yeah, I
He's
think he's
another
got a group.
conspiracy guy.
Yeah, he was targeted by the mind control stuff. And I was scared. Remember we
That was
did
a
that
rough
episode?
show. That was a rough show.
We couldn't even get the audio right. The audio on his end was never coming through properly.
Yeah.
And he's also a rapper too. That
Yeah, he
which
is.
I would love to do another episode with him where he talks about his music, but
Yeah,
it was really frightening listening to this guy.
it was. It was
I was
I was
scared.
in, like, tears.
Yeah, and I'm always worried because I know I'm on every watch list in the world
Mhm.
because of all the stuff we talk about. But when he was talking about this stuff, I was like, "Ooh, this is scary stuff."
Yeah.
But it was real. He's a real human being, and yeah, I feel really bad. And he runs a conspiracy website on Facebook, and he's since been banned. And I haven't even seen him in months now. I think he's
Yeah.
got a group. People post to his group, but I don't really hear. He used to like every day reach out,
Yeah, he
but I
did.
haven't seen him. But I know his pages have been banned. Um, yeah, and we are and listen, not only that, but then we had Jen recently from Tea Leaf Readings in the
Yes, we
Valley.
did. Yeah, she was great.
Yeah, Tea Leaf Readings in the Valley is another great. If you're other than tarot reading, there's tea leaf readings,
Mhm.
and she works more like on the gypsy style, where she goes to
Yeah.
different events and all
Yeah,
that.
she makes candles with her husband, and that was,
Yeah,
like, really cool, like, just to see someone, like, kinda have, like, a multi type
yeah.
thing going on. It was nice.
Yeah, and she's another great person. I'll put all these links
Yeah.
down this way, because I always, whenever people come on the show, we always want to promote them, visit them, just show them something. You don't got to spend money. If you do, that's great. But just following their pages help them out. These are small businesses. I don't never put any big businesses on our show. But we're gonna have some. Oh, we got some exciting stuff. First of all, you and me, Hannah, we're gonna be on.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna be a guest on a show. We're gonna be actually December 18th with Nonsense and Deep Thoughts podcast. Nonsense and Deep Thoughts. It's like I said, I recently started networking with
Yeah.
some other podcasters, and we've been all helping each other out, and it's a great little family that we got going. But Nonsense and Deep Thoughts podcast, they're not even really a podcast because he's got a variety show going on. He does the podcast, but then he does it live on Twitch, I think he does, and YouTube, and it's all live. And
Yeah.
he's got people like, you know, actually commenting. So he's got interaction on the
I
show.
love that.
And he's expanding now. I just found
Mhm.
he's breaking out, and on Sunday mornings they're doing a sports show.
Okay.
He's got Corey's not hosting those. He's got hosts that actually do it, but it's going to be under the Nonsense and Deep Thoughts.
Love that.
And he's also going to have a political side as well. And he's
Oh,
looking for people to do
shit.
the political side. So he's really branching out, but we're going to be guests on the show on December,
Yeah.
and I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited
And he's
about that.
local from Pennsylvania too,
Yep.
like we are. By the way, we're from Pennsylvania. I mean, not originally, but we are from Pennsylvania
We're
right
located
now.
in Pennsylvania now.
Yes, that's where we are.
Yeah.
Um, and then I got a couple more. I got the Bell Witch podcast.
Yeah.
I'm talking to her. That's another great podcast to check out. I've been doing some stuff there.
We're gonna bring Eminem on.
That's my next big announcement. I might try and squeeze them in this month if
Yeah.
possible. It's hard, but they like you can listen to podcasts all day long, and you'll hear a lot of different formats. But this is Eminem. It's Matthew and Monica, and they're a couple, okay?
Mhm.
Young couple. He's a veteran, PTSD. Um, their relationship had some big problems, like in the beginning and all. I listened to this. It is on YouTube, and I'm watching it, and they are just sitting on their couch in their living room. Their dogs by their side,
Yeah.
and like I know you have no problem talking about very personal stuff,
Yeah.
putting your emotions out.
Not all
Yeah,
stuff,
not all stuff, but
but some stuff.
yeah, but Hannah, you don't mind, like you don't
Yeah,
mind
I don't mind.
showing your
Yeah.
emotion. These this couple, like I couldn't believe the road we were going down. Like I feel they shouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
They shouldn't change. No, no,
Their show's
yeah,
great.
their show
It's
just
raw.
raw. I mean, raw.
Yeah.
And everybody needs to hear it because everybody can relate to something that they're talking about or something that their guests are talking
Yeah.
about that come in. I am blown away by them. I want you to listen. That definitely is going to be a link in there. And I'm going to link a few other podcasts too that I probably failed to mention. Oh, Mortal Musings.
Yeah.
Mortal Musings,
I knew we were
another
forgetting,
great
but I
one.
was like,
Yeah.
crap.
Those guys, they talk about all the crime serial killers and
Yeah.
all the really twisted stuff, but they got such a sense of humor. And there's another sense of humor when I started listening to as well called Ouch, Was That a Ghost? Kind of same concept. They talk about more paranormal stuff, but it's just a couple girls that are just talking more like two people talking, and it's kind
Yeah.
of silly, but they're a great show too as well. But Mortal Musings, I definitely I recommend highly. They're great people. We've been networking back and forth a lot. Their
Yeah.
shows are incredible. They're really the banter between the two of them makes the show. It
Yeah.
really does. For the dark subject matter that they talk about, their banter really gets you through it. And Ouch, Was That a Ghost? It's the same way. It's just the banter behind really serious subjects. So yeah, there's a ton of great podcasts, and
Yeah.
I'm sure there's tons more.
And shout out to you for, doing all the networking. I live a busy life. Not
Yeah.
that he doesn't. Um, but I have a almost 2-year-old that I'm chasing around on my off hours. So shout out to you for doing all the networking, buddy.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's why I say this show is ours. It's a 100%. I don't even call it 50-50. We're 100% eye opener, but I do. Since this is a hobby and I take it like it's my escape from my world.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I work and I got two jobs and all, but Hannah does have a 2-year-old and running around the house. So I try and respect her space. That's why I say sometimes it's hard for me to say I would do a podcast every day with you if we
Yeah.
were able to do it, but I don't like demanding much from you because I know you got a lot that, happens in your life. So I get that.
Yeah. I
So
got,
I do all the behind the scenes stuff. I do all the
mhm.
networking, all the talking. And once I got all the information, I send it to you. And
I'm
this
like,
way,
let's go.
yeah. And then we go ahead and jump in there. So that's how we basically
Yeah.
operate. But I just, I wanted to do this pilot episode. Like I said, the show's going to be once a month.
Yes. The
This one,
pilot. Yeah.
Behind the
Oh, not
Eyes.
pilot. Behind the eyes.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Behind the Eyes will be done once a month, and it'll be kind of a wrap up. And we try to get about 4 podcast episodes in per month. That's my
Yeah.
goal. Could be less, could be more. It all
Who
depends. But
knows?
yeah, who knows? But look, I'm going to try to remain consistent and try to release the podcasts on Monday nights, and then I'll release on a Tuesday whenever we have the wrap up idea
Yeah.
for this show. And again, this is really what it's going to be. It's going to be Hannah and I sitting here talking the way her and I normally do when the cameras are off. We're just going to keep it as real as possible. We'll talk about our past episodes. We'll talk about things that's coming up, and we may throw in some other surprises. We might
Yeah.
talk about things that weren't talked about on any podcast,
Yeah.
and we might even
We
have a
already threw a
guest
little
on it.
bit over in this one.
We
So,
have, yeah,
yeah.
absolutely, and that's how our conversations go. And I enjoy it. And I'm glad you guys get to see this, get to see how we operate behind the cameras and all that. Um, I love Hannah. I do. I
Love you, buddy.
fucking love you, man. It makes me feel so good that we do this, and we'll bring you some more. And we're gonna bring you some great episodes coming up. I got some ideas. We already bounced one off. Normally I go into the conspiracy theories, and then Hannah usually kind of get more of the emotional human side.
Yeah.
But then again, she went down the road of serial killers, and that was a hit. So you never know. We just bounce ideas off of each other, and that's how we come. But I got some good things planned. Not only do we got Eminem, Matthew, and Monica, but we got Elaine from Arcane Oracle. Those are two big ones. You have to tune into those. But some topics that we're going to
Yeah.
we got some very good topics coming up too as well. It's just a matter of me gaining. And again, we're unscripted. I don't have, well, it is, but I got my little bag here. I got like 4 or 5 different notepads, and I just, whenever I'm sitting down listening to all the podcasts, or if I'm in my meditation, I just start scribbling ideas, thoughts, words I want to say.
He can't even read his handwriting half the time.
And that's the other thing. God,
Showing it to me like I'm supposed
oh,
to fucking read it. And I'm like, good
happens.
luck.
Yeah, that happened on one of the last ones. I
I
was
was like,
somebody's name, and I wrote it so small because I use a small
you know,
little
like,
legal
what is that?
pads.
I was like,
I'm
I
like,
don't
yeah, I'm like,
know.
I wrote it too small. I couldn't read it, so it happens. But again, unscripted, it's real. We're not editing it.
Yeah.
Enjoy the mess ups. It's part of human life. When you go through, like, hey, I'll talk about it. When you go through life, right, every day, and you make a mistake, what do? You can't edit it.
Yeah.
It happened. The mistake happened. You got to just roll with
Roll with
it.
it. Yeah.
And so that's why I just want the realism on this show. So yeah, if we do make a mistake, we're not going to go in and edit it. I'm not going to be worried about sound. I mean, crazy. Sometimes you hear Hannah's dog barking, or I'm
Like
not
cats
editing.
running around,
Yeah,
like anything.
yeah. I try soundproof this as much as possible. But hey, listen, sounds. I'm not going to go through all the editing. It takes up so much. Do you know, just to get the stupid search engine search engine optimization to write that and to figure it,
It's
especially now,
ridiculous.
yeah, that takes up more time than editing an hour-long show.
Yeah.
So
We just don't.
I don't do it. And, I know I catch some heat for it or whatnot, but I just don't have the time for it. And I don't have the money. I don't have the editing. I'm not,
Bring on the heat.
yeah,
I'm
I'm not
anemic. I
a,
need it.
yeah. I'm not a sound engineer. I just roll with whatever sounds good, and I hope it sounds good to you. But as I mentioned, I don't like keeping Hannah too long. I could sit and talk forever, but I know she's got things to do, and it is a work night. But
Yeah, that's the only thing I have to do.
yeah. So hey, listen,
Watch
I
my
hate
watch my cold case.
you can watch your cold
Go to
case
sleep.
files. Yeah. So, but listen, I hate leaving. I hate it when Hannah leaves. I hate when we gotta say goodbye because again,
We say goodbye and I just walk up a flight of stairs.
yeah, it's just like that. But she leaves and it's done, and I
Yeah.
can't wait for the next show.
Yeah.
So we'll be bringing you some more good shows, and I appreciate everybody that's tuning in. Like us, follow the links that we got in the synopsis, because again, these people actually came on the show. They actually mean so. I'm trying to give them some love too.
Yeah.
It's all just one big family. We're not making any money off of this. We're not charging you any money for this. So yeah, check them all out, and we will check you out at the next podcast. And then hopefully you come back and join us behind the eyes once a month when we come on here, and we'll let you know. Follow our website, eyeopenersociety.onpodium.co. Almost said com. There's no M. It's .co. That's why.
Forehead.
That's why I put the links in the synopsis.
Yeah.
Listening to me make mistakes is going to get you in the wrong place.
They'll be like, what?
All right. And don't forget, check us out on December the 18th on Nonsense and Deep Thoughts podcast.
Yes.
Look them up on Spotify, YouTube, Twitch. They're all over the place, man.
Yeah.
Check them out. We'll be on there on December the 18th. They already told us what the topic is. I'm not going to share it. I'll let you guys figure that one out. All right. So everybody, enjoy your time, enjoy life, have fun with it, and join us here whenever we got something going on
And
for
thanks
you.
for tuning in. See ya.
Take care.